Hey everyone, today's laptop of discussion is the Acer Predator Helios 700. Now this laptop is specced out to the teeth, but it also comes with a really cool party trick. But before we get into all of the details, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on our channel, and of course do hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any future updates from us. Now with that out of the way, let's get right down to it. First off is the specs. Now this laptop is powered by some of the best hardware in the market. It's got an Intel Core i9-10980HK processor, an NVIDIA RTX 2080 Supermax Q GPU, 32GB of DDR4 memory, and for storage, a 1TB NVMe SSD accompanied by a 1TB hard drive. Last but not the least, you also have the display, which is a full HD IPS screen with a refresh rate of 144Hz and supports G-Sync. We test our gaming laptops using a variety of titles that are designed to tax the hardware to their most. All of our testing is conducted at 1080p with the graphics preset set to the highest possible and then one below the highest. We refer to these as ultra and high, irrespective of whatever they may be called in various games. So how did the Acer Predator Helios 700 fare when it comes to gaming? Well, you can see all of the benchmark numbers on your screen, the average frame rates from some of the most popular titles, the most demanding ones, and tested at both the highest possible graphic settings and the one below highest graphic settings. In case you're wondering about synthetic benchmarks, you can see some of the common benchmarks that we ran also on the screen right now. And honestly, with hardware like this, there really is no other room for improvement. While the Acer Predator Helios 700 is every bit of a gaming laptop, if you do choose to use it for creative tasks, you can expect some good performance. Here's the Predator 700's performance in our creative tests. Now next, let's talk about thermals. The Acer Predator Helios 700 is by no means a thin or light laptop, and part of the reason for that is what is called the Hyperdrift keyboard. Remember that party trick I was talking about earlier? Well, this is it. The Hyperdrift keyboard is a slide-out mechanism that exposes the internal fans completely to ambient air. This automatically overclocks both the CPU and the GPU while maintaining good thermal temperatures thanks to one, the cold air being pulled in through the fans, and of course also the vapor chamber that's in here. While the CPU and GPU get their fair share of cool air, the keyboard never really develops any hot spots for obvious reasons, because it's no longer on top of any heat producing hardware. So this leads us straight into our next topic, which is keyboard, I/O and the trackpad. So the keyboard on the Acer Predator Helios 700 is a pretty special one. It uses what is called a MagTech technology, which is patented by Acer. And what that means is that the keys provide pressure sensitive feedback. So if, for example, if you're playing a driving game, depending on how much of the pressure you apply on the W key, your acceleration will change. So it's not 0 and 1, but actually a gradation between a distance of 0.8 to 3 millimeters. When the keyboard is in the open position, you automatically also end up getting a wrist rest as well. So that's pretty nice. With 3 millimeters of key travel, the typing experience of course is amazing, but really as a gaming keyboard, this does stand out. The trackpad on the Helios 700 is a decent one as well, which works as well as a trackpad should on a laptop this expensive. Lastly, the I/O on this laptop comprises of all of the essential ports that you would want. On the right side, you have two Thunderbolt 3.0 ports along with an HDMI port, and on the left, you have two additional USB 3.0 ports, an Ethernet jack, and of course, dedicated headphone and microphone slots. Now next, let's talk about the display. This is a full HD IPS display with a refresh rate of 144Hz. It's actually a treat for both gamers and content creators alike, thanks to good color accuracy, which can be achieved post-calibration. It would have been nice to actually see a 300Hz panel on this machine, because you've got the hardware to drive frame rates sort of in the ballpark of that figure, but I guess you can't have it all. With a great display, you also need great sound. So let's dissect the sound aspect of the Helios 700. You have two front-firing speakers in the front, and there's of course also a subwoofer at the bottom. The sound from the Helios 700 is definitely loud by all accounts and fairly clear as well. So if you're sitting in a relatively quiet room, you should be able to enjoy both games, movies and even music for that matter without the need for headphones. So far, the Acer Predator Helios 700 has been acing pretty much every aspect that it should as a high-end gaming laptop. So what's the downside? Well, there are a few. For starters, the laptop is incredibly thick. In fact, it's thicker than the Alienware Area51m R2 and almost the thickness of the MSI GT76 Titan. Second is the fact that the display has massive thick bezels on all sides. For a laptop with such crazy, insane engineering going into it, the bezels sort of feel out of place. Lastly, there's the issue of space, and this is actually a very practical one. Once you pull the keyboard out, the footprint of the laptop increases significantly. You also have to keep into account that the rear vents should not get blocked. So overall, there may be a situation where you may end up with not enough space on the table to place your hands and the laptop comfortably. So let's conclude this review. The Acer Predator Helios 700 is definitely a powerful gaming laptop and it's very unique. The hardware will easily hit the 144Hz refresh rate on this display, and it does have all the right ports. The keyboard is really nice, and of course it's got engineering that's unlike any other in the industry. The Acer Predator Helios 700 also outperforms a very similarly spec'd MSI GT76 Stealth, which also costs practically as much. But the truth remains, the Acer Predator Helios 700 is limited to the truly hardcore gamer and is maybe not the right laptop for everyone out there. You could go with the Alienware Area51m R2, which was the Digit 01 award winner for the best gaming laptop this year, or you could even go with the MSI GT76 Titan. Both of those machines come with desktop grade CPUs and of course are also considerably more expensive. So if you were okay with compromising on some bit of performance but wanted a machine at a cheaper price tag, the Acer Predator Helios 700 does make the right fit. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you found all of the answers that you were looking for with regards to this laptop. In case you have any further questions, leave them in the comment section below and I will get back to them as soon as I can personally. But before you leave, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on our channel, and of course also hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any future notifications from us. As for me, I'm gonna see you in the next one.